Thank you for tuning in to another week of Outside the Box. I'm your host, Onay the CEO, and this week I have another fire segment for you. I have an entrepreneur in the building that has evolved in tremendous ways. So I want you guys to stay plugged in, tuned in, tapped in to Outside the Box. And we're back with another week and another entrepreneur that is doing major things in his career. And without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to Marquis of Hip Hop Streets. What's going on, boss?
What's going on, man? I'm happy to be here, man.
Man, I'm even happier to have you in the building.
Outside the box, man. Y'all got a nice little setup in here, y'all.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm gunning for Oprah.
That's good, man. Yeah, Oprah ain't too far, man.
Man, listen.
I bet Oprah ain't start off like this.
Huh. If you're going to do it big.
Yeah, right on.
Right on. And you know what? You inspired me to actually do it big. And I want to talk about some of the ways you inspired me throughout this show. Even though you're the founder of Hip Hop Streets, you've done so many things along your journey before you even came up with that idea. So I want to tap up on all those things. But since Hip Hop Streets was what brought you in the studio today, can you elaborate a little bit more about Hip Hop Streets, what it is and what you do with that?
Hip Hop Streets is it's a music app. We're a tech company, and the whole concept behind Hip Hop Streets was to build a platform that underground artists could get heard, get discovered globally all around the world. And we tap in through all the social media platforms, as well as our own streaming platform, which we recently just launched. We have podcasts, video podcast shows. We have music videos. We have blogs. It's just so much that we can bring to an underground artist that in Hip Hop Streets is just, it's unlimited to what we can do. We recently have a partnership with Ghana.
Okay.
So we'll be streaming underground artists showcases from Ghana and interviewing artists from Ghana to bring their music to the States. And in return, we're taking some of the music from the States over to Ghana and just trying to bridge that gap because hip hop is global.
Right. That's awesome. So how long have you been into the music app industry?
It was an idea in 2017.
Okay.
And from it being an idea, I just formed it. I built a team. I got a strong, solid team behind me. And the actual app wasn't actually built up and running to probably about mid 2019, and then we actually just did a whole new overhaul of it to make it a whole lot more better, more attractive to the listeners and everything. And we have some dope artists on there, some dope music.
Yeah, I peeped it. I was like, okay, shout out, because that really would just opens up the gate to so many artists that haven't been heard, that actually have talent, that don't have to go through all the red tape of some of these local stations that put up these roadblocks. You have something that's not local, that's worldwide, that's that's global, and you can't really top that.
Yeah, you can't.
Can't top that.
Exactly.
Now, what inspires you to want to even do it? Like you told me you wanted to have a platform that artists, but there was something in you that said, I'm the one to bring this to fruition.
I'm a hustler for one, so let's get that straight. So I'm always thinking of ways, how can I make it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about make it, not no average make it. Like, how can I make it? And then I seen that technology was starting to take over. And Kanye, I heard Kanye West, his last album he put out in the stores, Kanye said, I'm not putting out no more albums in the stores. You got to go get it online. Or you got to stream it. Right. And when I heard Kanye said this, and this probably was like years ago, and it hit me. I was like, what will the underground artists do? Like, if everything's going to streaming, because, back when we came up as an underground artist, you bought you some CDs, you went to the mall, or you went to the corner store, and you passed them out to people. You said, hey, listen to my music. But I saw that everything was going to streaming, so I said, hey, let me create a platform that can help these underground artists get discovered, because a lot of underground artists, they rush to Apple and Spotify and they haven't built a fan base. So now their music is just sitting on the shelf, and then nobody hearing their music, and then a year or two from now, they're not even into music anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They lost their hope and passion, whereas you was trying to attack a bigger market when you didn't even conquer the smaller market, which is hip-hop streets. So let us help build you. And that was the whole concept behind it. We just want to jumpstart careers, man. And we done did a lot of jumpstarting, too. So, we, you know...
it has grown exponentially just since it's still growing.
It's still growing.
Every time I look up, it's something else new. And so I commend you for that, for keeping your shoulders to the ground from the point of it just being an idea that, you know, you thought of and brought to fruition. You know, you made your plan, you made it clear, and you manifested it. That goes back. Now, if you don't mind me asking, I want to trek back from when I first started, you know, when you and I first started kicking it, because you're also my friend. And I remember back in the day when you came up with the idea of your own clothing line.
Right.
You know, and we were young back then. It was,
It was back in the game.
It was back in the game. You came over to the crib and you wrote down, you know, your logo, and you was like, what you think about this, O'Nay? What you think? I'm like, yeah. You know, we thought about it, and then it wasn't long before I started seeing Movam everywhere. And it wasn't long before you had a storefront. And it wasn't long before, I mean, it was a trending thing, you know, so you have a history of making things manifest. So can you tell me a little bit of background about that, your clothing line? I know that you no longer...
Yeah, it's something that I created, me and my cousin Daniel Will Turner, and we were just like, we want a clothing line, like let's create a clothing line. So we thought of the name, and we said how we're gonna market it. We're gonna market it in our hood. We just gonna flood our neighborhood with nothing but Movam. Everybody from, when they got the latest Jordans, okay, what color? These are the Movam shirts we gonna get. We started throwing Movam parties, Movam boat parties, and then it got to the point where it got too big for the trunk. So that's when we said, hey, let's get a storefront. Now, mind you, we took a regular office space and we created it into a storefront. Like, buying everything, painting on the wall from everything, and turned it into an actual storefront, had made a dressing room. Like, all this was out of office building, and I learned a lot. Like, it gave me great experience. One of the most life-changing experiences that I encountered was when I visited the Magic Show in Vegas, which is the big fashion thing. Okay. And I really got a chance to see global because I was meeting manufacturers from all over the world, and I'm communicating with them, and just seeing that industry and how life is, it opened my mind much bigger than the neighborhood.
Yes.
And that's what just really got the juices flowing in my mental, and that's probably why I created Hip Hop Streets.
Yeah,
because now I'm thinking global. Everything I do is like global.
Like it's way bigger than the trunk now. It's way bigger than the storefront. I need something global.
Exactly.
Where I can be everywhere at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the little history behind it. But it was good. We had fun. We had fun doing Movam. We had fun doing it. And Movam basically just stands for mind over matter.
Yes.
And today, I still live by that.
By mind over
matter.
And, that's something that you even pass down to the kids that you mentor. I did want to touch upon that just briefly. You also coached a team called the Monarchs.
Correct.
And I followed you in that journey, and that was just hard. They love the kids, man. They love the kids. But now looking back, I see even now you're still posting pictures with some of those same kids that have gotten signed or going off to play. Like, how was that in your life? How did that inspire you?
We grew up together. So, them kids helped me grow up. When I started coaching them kids, I was young, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But the kids really just like, we grew together because I don't have kids. Right. So they kind of gave me that, like, you're a role model to these kids. So now you got to watch what you do, watch what you say.
Accountability.
Yeah. So it was amazing. Like, coaching them kids, the short history of the Monarchs, the reason we named them the Monarchs, because the Monarchs is the longest lasting Negro league. And we was an all-black select team in the state of Texas. So, for one, that was rare. So, I wanted to show that African-American kids can play baseball on the select level at a high level. And with that in return, we won 2 state titles. We traveled to Myrtle Beach. We went to Gulf Shores, Alabama, and actually got one kid, Dylan Smith. He got drafted out of high school, but he passed up the opportunity and went to college because he plays for the University of Alabama. And it was just like, and today, like, they're like my kids. You know, if people see them, like, nah, they my kids. You know, if they get an accomplishment, they gonna text me, they gonna call me, like they're my kids. You know what I'm saying? If I see them on social media doing something, I call, hey, man, take that down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because what I told them coming up, I wish I had a coach like me. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because it's as a coach, you're not only a coach, you're a mentor. Some of these kids, you know, their fathers are not active in their life, so you become a father figure to them. So if I can help guide you to not make the same mistakes that I made, because I am an I played college baseball at Prairie View, so I am an ex baseball player. So my thing was, let me help you make the mistake. Don't make the mistakes that I made. Yeah.
Man, I commend you for that. I just had to dig into your history a little bit because I knew nobody. And you also a poet.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to hide, man. I'm an open book if you know me.
Yeah. I know you. That's why. But I think that because you're such a bright light in the dark room, and you've manifested so much in the time, the years that I've known you, and I've never, ever have seen you say, "I'm going to do this," and not do it.
Yeah,
not do it. Even like when you started writing poetry, I believe you published. I think you published your book before you really started like speaking, or was it?
And I published the book first.
Yeah, and I should know this because I'm your publisher.
Yeah,
shout out.
Yeah, she actually published the book.
Oh, and they publishing the performances. Hey, we still publishing today.
We worked hard for that that one. You know what I'm saying? Because I did it backwards. Yeah, I don't think I did it backwards, but I wanted to have the book ready, and then I went on started doing spoken word. I had never done spoken word ever in my life.
Well, yeah.
Never.
But you was always a poet.
Yeah, I could write.
Yeah, you could write.
I could write, but going in front of people, it was like that right there helped me too.
Yeah,
it helped me.
It helps you. Yeah, it helps develop your everything.
Because now I can walk in a room and I can just talk. It don't even matter. Yeah, because I didn't sat on the stage.
That spoken word has you ready for this moment right here today.
Exactly.
Now,
exactly. It do.
True talk.
It do. And my poetry was on what's going on in the world today. Right. And you know.
And the name of the book is called Praying for a Better Day.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was all about the Black lives, empowering our people, uplifting our people. My most famous poem to today is Tears of a Black Man.
And it's so relevant even now to today. Even though you published the book years ago, if you pick up that book today, I guarantee you guys, if you get Praying for a Better Day, you will be motivated and inspired. You guys be sure to check that book out. Going on Amazon, Praying for a Better Day, Marquis Jonkins. He's going to make sure that you get that, and you're going to be inspired. Now, moving right along, because I want to go back to hip hop streets now that I've dug into some of the things that I wanted to talk about.
Gotcha.
Because I definitely want to talk about the man behind the movement, because there's so many facets to who you are. Mm-hmm. So getting back to hip hop streets, this dope ass app that you have, it's to me it's bigger than just the app.
Correct.
You know, I didn't want to offend you by saying that because it's a whole movement. There's actually a commercial I want to share it with our viewers and our listeners. Check it out.
We have one mission at Hip Hop Streets, and that's to inspire artists to go for their dreams. Our custom music app gives listeners the opportunity to discover new artists from across the globe. Catch the latest interviews, listen and watch the dopest podcasts, and check out music videos from not just hip-hop, but from the many different genres we have on the Hip Hop Streets app. Our free music app is available on your Android and Apple device. Join the movement.
Now, that was information from the Hip Hop Streets live stream music app. Be sure that you go and you download the app today. Now, moving right back to you. Now, what was your aha moment? Like, where were you in life when it hit you? Were you in transition? Were you living here in Houston? Did you move to Atlanta? Like, what was because I know you moved for a period of time.
Yeah, I moved to Atlanta.
So, what came first?
I was already in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I built it with my team out in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like, me. I think outside the box. That's why it's just perfect.
That's why you're on the show. That's why you're on the show.
I'm always thinking about outside. Like let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. I want to create a habit. And it's crazy because I tell people all the time because I'm going around talking to a few of my friends and a few of my home. I'm gonna create an app. And they
hear you, but they don't.
They ain't hear me, but I know when I walked off, they probably like, man, he crazy. How he gonna make an app? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you get that look.
It's hard to get people to grasp your vision when they've never been exposed to such.
Exactly. So by me, having experience with building things, I know when I'm talking to somebody and you ain't really feeling me. So
right.
I'm like, all right, let me quit talking to you because you don't seem like you understand what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
So. TSU, I graduated from Texas Southern University.
Shout out to TSU.
Shout out. They had a top 40 under 40, and I was nominated and got an award for one of the top 40 under 40 School of Business alumni that was prospering in life. So I'm at this event. So I get invited. I'm always thinking this is perfect time for me to network. That's me. I'm always trying to network.
Because everybody there done something worth mentioning.
Yeah. So the whole event, I'm listening to who all got award. She got a tech thing. Okay, cool. So I like, all right, she got tech. So immediately after we get the awards, I approach her. Hey, Marquis, I got this idea. Can you help me with it? Mm-hmm. She's like, yes, I can help you. Gave me a card, and then from that point on, it sparked everything up.
Man, talk about the right time, the right place, and really following that intuitive nudge. Mm-hmm. So many times we get a nudge to go and say hello or introduce ourselves. We're like, nah, we don't want to seem, a certain kind of way. But you have to do it.
Yeah. That's
you can't be afraid of a no. You can't, because you might just get that yes, and it might just be the perfect fit to your puzzle of what you need. You just got to be able to break the ice and say, hey, how you doing? Like just what you did. And
I call that, because I tell my people all the time, you gotta take your cool off. You too cool.
Yeah.
Like, who know you? Don't nobody know me, and I'm walking around here cool like everybody know me. No. Yeah. Take my cool off. Let me go introduce myself. So now, at the end of the night, somebody gonna know me.
Right.
But if I'm walking around there cool like everybody know me, you ain't gonna get nothing done. You know when you get to an event who know you and who don't know you.
Right.
So quit walking around like people know you. It's just the truth.
Right.
So I know when I go into this event, don't nobody know me. So it's up to me to leave an impression. So after this event, the next event, they'll know me.
Right. Straight up. Now, you mentioned you had a support team.
Yeah, I got a strong team. I got a tech team. Hip Hop Streets was built in-house, from the graphics to the website, black owned, mm-hmm. We Afro Tech, we black owned, and if the team is, I got a marketing, online, and they there, people see that, but they there, that's my team, they there, but I know my team. Sometimes you know your team, and you put them in roles where they can prosper and be successful, and that's what they do, and they flourish at it.
Now, when you started seeing success, because I know you're starting to see it, and sometimes we don't necessarily notice how huge our harvest is while we're still churning and building. It's like everybody sees us so much larger than life than we see ourselves.
Exactly.
Because we haven't reached our goals yet.
Exactly.
But where we are is somebody's goal. Yeah. It's just not our end game.
Exactly.
So I wanted to ask you personally, as you started to actually see success, because you can't help but see it. Hip Hop Streets is everywhere. So as you started to see the fruition of your manifestation, how did that change the course of your decisions? Like, you were already making obviously good decisions along the way. So you were utilizing some of the knowledge that you had gained. But of course, once you start getting noticed as successful, sometimes you have to change the way you stick and move, if you know what I mean. So was there any change in how you moved? And if so, what was that change?
The change that I did, that I felt like, I moved to Atlanta.
Okay.
I up and moved to Atlanta. And because Atlanta is the mecca of hip hop. And I wanted to learn more about hip hop. I wanted to get my brand into Atlanta. So I moved to Atlanta. And I don't, the thing about success, because it's still so much that hip hop streets is looking to build. I want to be a multimedia company.
Right.
So it's still a lot. So I celebrate every small success. That's one thing I do. I'm never shy. Like, probably after this show, I probably go celebrate just because I was on the show.
Right.
And I learned that because coming up, you only got that opportunity to enjoy it, and then it's gone.
Right.
Because I thought tomorrow is probably another show or another thing I got to do. So I can't come back and say, well, let me celebrate that time I was on. No, you got to celebrate in the moment and keep it going, because that what keeps you motivated.
Right.
Because if you're never celebrating success, then you'll never think you're being successful at it. Then you know, eventually you're just like, well, this ain't working.
You know what? You just taught me something, because I sometimes won't allow myself to bask in any of my successes because I'm so afraid of getting sidetracked by that one nugget of success that I get complacent. And I'm so stuck on not becoming complacent with the success that I have that I keep going and going and going. But I do also suffer sometimes with burnout.
Yeah,
because,
you burn yourself out.
You know, everybody is giving me all these, you know, accolades and acknowledgments, but I still don't feel like I've done enough because I don't take time to celebrate. You know, and what I'm thinking is humility might just be punishment to myself.
Nah, man. Even if it's a small celebration, you know what I'm saying? If it's something that you do, okay.
Even if it's a toast.
Yeah, a toast. I'm for to go home, for to take me a shot or whatever. All right, man, I did this today. Just so because the thing about it is, if you don't feel good about what you're doing, you're going to stop doing it.
Right.
And that's why you're going to see me. I'm going to have a smile on my face. I'm happy. Let's get it. Let's do it. Hip Hop Street. Woo. And you know what I'm saying? That's just me. Like, and people, you know, a lot of my teammates, it took people to understand that and see that. Like, man, you always happy. I said, nah, I ain't always happy, but I find a way to enjoy what success is. If the smart, because you got to understand, we're building from the ground up. It's no somebody coming and say, "Hun, you got this." No, I got to figure this out on my own.
Right.
Like, what is tech? How do I get people to download? How will this work? Will they like it? Will they do this? So no, I'm going to celebrate everything.
Speaking of that, I wanted to know, because there's a lot of lessons to be learned. I wanted to find out if you would be willing to share one of your tough lessons that you learned along the way of building your brand. Any of them, because there's lessons in everything that we do, but particularly I want to know, what were some of the tough lessons that you had to learn in building your team and building your brand and launching Hip Hop Streets?
The toughest thing is because when you building a product that I feel like that I'm building, you're gonna run into people that don't really see the long-term vision. So that was a problem that I ran into, because they didn't see the long-term vision. You know what I'm saying? And people get caught up in, you know, in the likes and this and that, and not knowing that it ain't really no profit even being made.
Right.
If we're building this, you gotta understand this from the ground up.
Trust me, I understand.
You know, so and that was one of the biggest things that I had to learn, to keep it about the brand. So now it's about the brand. You know what I'm saying? When you come on board to the Hip Hop Streets team, it's about the brand.
It's about the brand.
Because you got to understand that if the brand makes it, you make it.
That's right.
Point blank period.
Yeah.
Because they're going to want everything attached to the brand. You know what I'm saying? So I keep it about the brand. You know what I'm saying? I keep it about the brand. And I got some good knowledge, you know what I'm saying? I got some mentors along the way that, you know, I reach out to, and they gave me some good advice. But and another thing, don't stop moving. I don't. I tell the people all the time, man, it's a train.
Mm-hmm.
The train got to stop. It's going to stop. But guess what? That train, the door's going to close, and it's going to keep on moving. Mm-hmm. In hip-hop streets, it ain't stopping. It ain't going to stop.
Well, I commend you for keeping your momentum. Now, what can we have to look forward to? You told us about the partnership with Ghana. Mm-hmm. What can we have to look forward to with Hip Hop Streets?
Streaming. We're going to be streaming. We're going to be streaming short movies. We're going to be streaming everything.
All right, dope.
So we're trying to help the underground get heard, get discovered. We also have a live stream where we will be live streaming comedy shows, music, events, and other things as well through our platform.
Okay, dope. Well, I want to encourage our watchers to go to hiphopstreets.com. Be sure to go to the website, peruse what their mission is, see some of their featured artists. You know, there's contact information there, ways to get in contact, and also upload your music there. So make sure you go to the Hip Hop Streets app. And there's also, if you go to app.hiphopstreets.com, there you can download the app. Whether you have an Android or iPhone, we're everywhere. So you can definitely go to the app.hiphopstreets.com and be sure to do that. Also, hiphopstreets.com offers merch as well. You can get you some hats, some hoodies. The wintertime is coming up, so you might as well be stylish in some Hip Hop Streets. I want to remind all our viewers that we can be found on multiple platforms. You can find us on YouTube, Google Play, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Hip Hop Streets, SoundCloud, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, and Pocket Cast. I also want to thank you, Marquis, for coming and sharing your journey, for letting me get all up in your business on Outside the Box.
Thank you,
You are a light in a dark room. Keep going and growing. I am so proud of you.
Proud of you, too.
Thank you.
Dope vibes.
All right. Always. Man, it's a party every time we link up. All right. Well, I want to thank our guests for tuning in. You have now been Outside the Box.